Today on The Real Deal, the spotlight is on Mumbai region's housing market and what the crystal ball holds. And the larger question we now are going to touch upon, can Mumbai bring in the stock of right-priced homes, the truly affordable homes? Industry experts believe the provisions in the new DCR 2034 will reduce the project cost with reduction in the premium FSI and fungible area. 3,700 acres of no development zone land also will now be available for development. Mr. Hiranandani, my question is 30 square meter housing in the range of 60 lakhs to 75 lakh rupees. Is that possible?
The answer is no, because the cost of FSI, which you said, even after you take the reduced value and the other charges which are levied by the corporation and the state government for additional FSI, is horrendous even after the reduction which is there. So I don't think that you're going to get a lower price segment in this section, except for the small percentage of economically weaker section for larger project areas that is coming up, and also the no development zone that is being corrected. So 85% of the areas will not be able to cater for that, but we are hopeful that about 10 to 15% of the area will cater into this segment of smaller size and smaller price apartments, because they are cross-subsidized under the DC rules. So that little flavor is there, okay, but I think it is inadequate to bring down the prices in this segment.
Any meaningful way. But Maheshwari, is that how PE firms are looking at it? Because my question would be, if you can actually foresee a reasonable amount of stock coming in that price bracket of 60 lakhs to 75 lakhs, then both the Thane and the Navi Mumbai markets have to relook at the amount of new supply which will come into this price range.
Oh, yes. I think, Dr. Hiranandani is absolutely right. But my point is that 10 to 15%, in my view, might be slightly more than 10 to 15%. But that itself is just too high a number, is a high enough number for bringing rational to this particular marketplace and so forth. In any case, now the paradigm has changed drastically. What we're seeing is the new normal. Whether you look at from the PMAY benefit or whether you look at from the tax benefit perspective, the 50 lakh rupee or thereabouts is what makes sense. It is where the demand is, and we are very actively pursuing opportunities in that particular segment. Like I said, that sort of a quantum is high enough, given when Ghulam says that 60,000 apartments get sold per annum in Mumbai, that 10 to 15% of that 3,700 acres is a very large number. Okay.
Ghulam Zia, what's your own concern with the new DCR 2034, 3,700 acres, the whole talk about, slightly cheaper premiums on FSI and more availability of those 60 lakh to 75 lakh rupee units?
Well, I'm positive on that it will add to affordable housing in Mumbai. It's a good scheme. However, I am yet concerned about, first of all, how the infrastructure lobby, how the environment lobby will behave to it. I'm sure there'll be a lot of resistance from certain section of the society for sure, which will only delay it. I'm sure we will get across to that hurdle. But then the problem next, as you're talking about, is also true, that if so much of supply is coming in that range with government interventions and affordability kicking in, and these will be in strategic locations within the city itself, then what will happen to those markets where in any case we are looking at such a huge splurge of 50 to 100,000 lakh rupees wala jo market is actually getting oversupplied already. So that will be competing, whatever supplies we're talking about will be competing with the extended suburbs of Mumbai, whether it is Vasai Virar or Thane, Panvel or all that area, will find a tough competition from this segment. So if I look at the discussion that we had before our break and overlap it with this, if this much of supply is coming in, then that supply will have a huge trouble to find buyers, because obviously first priority will be these locations, which will be strategically better placed than the far-off suburbs of Mumbai.
Sharad Mittal, I'm surprised. I mean, I know that even PE funds are now chasing, at least in residential, that 50 lakh to 75 lakh rupee bracket. But are Ghulam and I being too negative about, or just the fear that there will be an oversupply in this area, is that overfounded?
So I would say that I agree with Dr. Hiranandani. I think when we look at Mumbai as a market, we cannot look at as an absolute affordability. We need to look at relative affordability. The purchasing power here, if you're comparing it to say Bangalore and Pune or a Noida or a Gurgaon, the purchasing power here is far higher. Also, it being a coastal city, there are various restrictions on the way the city can grow. So I would say my sense in affordability is more closer to 1 crore rupees. And it will be difficult to deliver houses given that the city is going to go vertical and with the kind of premium cost that one has to pay to the government. I think within the city limits, it will be very difficult to deliver a house of 50 to 75 lakhs. The key driver here, or the thing that can change, all the infrastructure projects which are currently underway, over a period of next 5 to 6 years would probably make it more easy to commute to slightly suburban, off-suburban areas, and there probably a supply can come easily.
In this interim process with, all these new things happening, run up to the elections, Mr. Hiranandani, you said that if nothing changes, we should sail through and Mumbai market will only get stronger. But before you get stronger, are you worried that there could be most developers who would go into stress, sir? Because I do know that Naredco has discussed this very extensively on, names that we don't have.
No, it's not a question of names that we don't have. We know there are stressed assets and there are stressed corporates which are happening, and the worst is in the NCR region, Noida in particular. Mumbai and Mumbai periphery also has people who are stressed, and they are in difficulties, and they are going through stress times already, and with the NBFC fiasco, probably they will see worse time. I'm not saying that there won't be problems in isolated cases. But I think overall the market is definitely picking up. For our Thane project, we have seen a 35 to 40% increase in sales in the last 3 months. It's extremely bullish, especially for completed projects. We have, the kind of rush and pull is quite high. Even the commercial is really strong. So I think a combination of all this which we are talking about, we do see a positive element. But yes, the answer to your question is, are there stressed companies? Are there stressed projects? The answer is very much yes. So I think somewhere down there, a consolidation will take place, is taking place, is happening partly due to RERA, partly due to activism which is taking place. I think it's bound to happen. So you will see problems in this segment.
Okay. I can only hope, Mr. Hiranandani, that they remain isolated cases, because really this market has seen the worst behind it. We don't want another big knock and shock for India's housing market. So Niranjan Hiranandani, Sharad Mittal and Abbar Maheshwari, Gulam Zia, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. I hope we ride this short-term liquidity crunch without any big knockbacks or shocks, and whatever land is coming from the no development zone along with the infrastructure development gives that city the much required affordable housing that it needs. Thank you very much for joining me on The Real Deal. Goodbye from me.